Hi everyone, my name is Londi and today I'm going to show you how you can profit from two technologies which are poised to disrupt the largest industry on the planet, the banking and the finance market. This is an $80 trillion market. It's the largest market on the planet. It's actually hard to estimate just how big it is because every single other industry uses the global banking system. This new technology could protect you and your family, as well as turn the entire banking industry inside out. Please watch this following presentation, and I'll see you at the end.
Okay, so let's begin. The global economy, I think it's important to talk a little bit about this and just to determine where we're at right now. But people are really starting to become aware that something's not quite right with the world economy. But few really know what it is. So gone are the days where a family can survive on just one income. Some families even have to have a second and a third job just so that they can pay for the little extras that, maybe it's their kids' sporting activities. And that's kind of where we're at today with the world economy. I know that when I grew up, it was fine for my father just to be working, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom. But in this day and age, it's changed. So have you noticed that the food that you're buying in the grocery stores is, the amount and the weight in the packages is going down? I know that when I go to the grocery store and even just buy a bag of potato chips, the quantity in the bag is going down, yet the price remains the same. And then a few months later, even the price goes up. So, we're not getting this, inflation is happening around the world. And I believe that the quality of lifestyle is decreasing as time goes on. So these are cute, funny little comics, but really have an inherent meaning behind them. So it's been stated that the next generation will not be wealthier than their parents. And this is for the first time since the Great Depression. Something's happening with the global economy today. I think we can all feel it deep down inside, but we just don't want to admit it. You may want to just carry on living and hope that everything will turn out okay, that the government will take care of it. But I'm not so sure about that, and I'm really not willing to test it out either. As a single mom, my family's too important to leave such an important decision as protecting my wealth to someone else, especially when that someone else is in debt up to their eyeballs. And yes, I'm referring to the government. So, what is going on in the world today? Why am I worried about protecting my wealth? And why shouldn't all of us be worried about protecting our wealth? There are signs. There's some economic, financial, and even some military signs that the way we live and work may change in the next few years. The US dollar is headed for a collapse. It's quite clear when you just look at this graph. The total debt of the US government is now at $18 trillion. And its growth, as you can see where this is headed. But when you research this even further, you'll actually find that this monstrous $18 trillion worth of debt is only a small part of the story. It actually doesn't include state and local debt, and it doesn't include the so-called unfunded liabilities of entitlement programs like Social Security and Medicare. Today, the total debt and liabilities of the US government is over $95 trillion. So that's $300,000 per person in the US, or $1.2 million for every family of four. And that doesn't pay out too well when most families today are literally living paycheck to paycheck and on credit cards. With incomes declining and the debt continuing to increase, it's unlikely we as individuals will be able to pay off that debt. So recently, Ron Paul had this to say, actually. Ron Paul is the former US presidential candidate. He's a 22-year congressman as well.
I believe we as a nation are on the brink of a massive financial crisis, infinitely worse than the crisis of 2008. And that's because it won't be a banking and mortgage problem, but a full-blown currency crisis, the likes of which we've never experienced in this country. The savings of millions of people could be wiped out overnight. The stock market could crash by 50% or more. The way of life we've enjoyed as Americans for 50 years could come to an end. It's not a question of if this will happen, but when.
In response to the declining US dollar, countries from around the world have begun to move away from the dollar, creating what's called currency wars. So it's not just the Western world that this is affecting. China's begun their own bank transfer system, which is the first international payment system to compete with the US dollar-based SWIFT system. And trade agreements around the world are for the first time in decades being done outside the US dollar. During the worldwide financial crisis, banks closed, countries went bankrupt, and all over the world, people like yourself lost all their finances. Just a few years ago in Iceland, people woke up and overnight they had to pay 2 times the price for rent, gas, and food, everything. But their salary was still the same. Their paper money had just lost value. The same thing's happening in Argentina and in Cyprus. In Zimbabwe, they had hyperinflation. Their paper money was almost worth nothing. People had spent over 40 years on a pension plan, and they only had enough to buy a pizza. Many of you know in Greece, people lost their entire savings, also their pension plans. And I think what they regret the most is when you talk to people on the streets, they say, why did I spend all my life saving my money? It's all gone. I would have rather spent my time with my kids and my family. So global economists and experts agree more banks and governments will fail. More people will lose everything they own. This is why everyone needs a way to protect and secure their finances. Most people have finances tied up in paper money and find it hard to find an alternative, or they're just not aware of it. And that's what we're here to talk to you about tonight. Every day it seems things are more and more mismanaged, yet only 1 in a million understand why. But I'm also here to tell you that it's easy to start taking the first step to protecting your assets and your wealth for you and your family. And you can start today. So we're going to discuss one of the steps you can start to take to protect yourself today. If you haven't already started, now's the time to take control of your finances and your future. So we're introducing a new currency. It's a global currency, and it acts as an instant digital payment solution. Things that you can pay for goods and services right from your phone. In Capricoin, it's a cryptocurrency. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this terminology before. Believe me, about 5 months ago, it was new to me as well. But it's basically your money in a digital form. What's great about it is there's no fees, and you can transfer money around the world instantly. And it's protection, first and foremost, out of the hands of your government and your bank. So it provides a solution to commerce, government regulations, and transaction fees. Now, some of you may have heard of Bitcoin, but this was the first cryptocurrency in the world, and it started in 2009. The value of a Bitcoin started at 1 cent, and today it's around 250, may even be 220 today. But $100 worth of Bitcoins in 2009 would be the equivalent of $2.5 million today. Oh, this is a great story. So there was a student, a Norwegian student, and he was doing a paper and writing a report on cryptocurrency. And he was reading about Bitcoin and thought he would just put in $26 and just for the sake of it. And he actually forgot about it. And then when he heard about Bitcoin on the media 4 years later, and he decided to log into his computer, and he found out that his $26 Bitcoin investment was worth $850,000. So not bad. I don't know if many of you know this, but and it was something that I learned as well. I didn't know it was as mainstream and widely accepted as it is, but it's accepted by more than 300,000 companies worldwide. And there's some big companies, as you can see here, Dell and PayPal, Richard Branson's Virgin Atlantic, so Tiger Direct, Expedia. These are all companies that most of us are using on a daily, if not yearly basis. So it's really like having a debit card or a bank account attached on your cell phone. One thing that with Bitcoin, it does have some challenges. It doesn't have any formal marketing strategy. So with Vizionary and Capricoin, we've got a lot of us with the marketing and network getting the word out and spreading the word. So it should move along faster. It was perceived as an investment and an asset, and it's very volatile. So its price fluctuates considerably. So for merchants and stuff to accept it, it was a bit risky. And there's also a delay in conversion to global currency, sometimes up to 3 or 4 hours to just even find out if you've got the money and in your account and be able to accept that as a payment. And then also it's very expensive to mine. So in most cases, more expensive to mine than the actual currency is worth. So those are some of the challenges with Bitcoin right now. So we know we're perfectly positioned to create stories like the Norwegian man, as Vizionary is introducing, a new coin, which is called Capricoin. It's already an official currency. It's traded on 2 public exchanges, Bittrex and BlueTrade. And these exchanges give you the option to buy and sell or exchange into paper money anytime you want. Capricoin is designed to protect and secure your finances and to increase in value. And it's designed to be a global digital payment solution so that you can buy goods and services worldwide. The more people who use it, the more it will increase in value. So we're not the first ones to do this, but we know we're the first ones to perfect this technology. We provide state-of-the-art software for businesses and merchants to accept money and exchange it into their currency in real time without fees, and it's as easy as paying with a credit card. Vizionary was the first company, MLM cryptocurrency company, that has a real live operating fully functional cryptocurrency on an open public exchange with a fully functional blockchain. So some other companies within this industry, they have their own internal platforms or exchanges, which basically violates every security and exchange law around the world. So some of the things that really makes us different, one of the biggest thing that makes us different is the technology that we have with an instant payment. Merchants can be paid instantly with no waiting times, and they can choose to accept Capricoin or their own country's currency. Nobody else is doing this. Nobody else has the technology to do this. This is just one reason Capricoin will easily go mainstream and be accepted by the public. And this is the management team. We've got Ladislav Pastor on the left, who's from Slovakia, and Frode Berg, who's the founder of the company, and he's from Norway. And then Andy Morbitzer from Ohio, US, and Jesper Benson from Denmark. So all of these gentlemen have an immense background of business experience, as well as some of them have some networking experience too. So a good combination of years and years and decades of business experience with this team. One of the things I've had the honor and the privilege of working with them a little bit as well, and I can tell you that they're all family men and they're in this for the long haul. When they talk about the company, their eyes literally light up, and you can tell that their focus and goal is for everything that's good to come with this company. So it's really exciting. So how do you get started? It's really easy. Get started for 297 euros, and you'll actually be mining for Capricoin this week. Invite people to this presentation, and all you need to do is find 2 partners who want to protect their savings, and that's a good start. Get them started, introduce them to the business, plug them into the support groups we have. We have support groups on Facebook and Skype, and plug them into the leaders and get their questions answered. And then once they're on the go, and find 2 more and keep going. And just to get started, all you have to do is get back to the person who invited you to this presentation and start mining for Capricoin this week. So in summary, I do want to share a little bit about the reasons why I decided to join Vizionary. I got into the cryptocurrency business not solely to earn extra money. Sure, it's probably got the largest potential than anything I've ever done in the home business industry, but my primary reason for joining was really to protect my assets. I'm really passionate about building long-term wealth for my family and leaving a legacy for my children. So in order for me to do this, I really want to make sure that this income that I earn from my blood, sweat, and labor, really remains accessible to us, and that it can't be taken away by any capital controls from the banks or from governments. We are involved at the beginning of an emerging technology. I truly believe that. It's an entire industry based around a technology just as significant as the dot-com boom, the internet, Google, and Facebook combined. This is bigger than all of those combined because we're talking about actually replacing the fiat currency system. So with that, we hope to see you in the Visionary groups very soon on Facebook and in Skype. And hopefully you get to start mining Capricoin this week.
Hey, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed the presentation and you understand that this is a real business. Let me tell you our mission. Our mission is to create a coin, Capricoin, that allows individuals to participate in one of the most meaningful wealth transfer in the history of mankind. The shift from centralized fee-ridden banking system to a no fees, no restrictions, instant peer-to-peer financial platform that can all be completed on a smartphone. It's exciting and it's happening now. There will never be a better time to be one of the early adopters of Capricoin. The time is now. So instead of filling your garage full of product, why not fill your wallet full of wealth? Our byproduct is money. Joining Visionary is the opportunity you've been waiting for, giving you the flexibility you set your own schedule, achieve time and financial freedom, and leave your legacy for future generations. Never again will we experience a financial phenomenon like the one about to impact us all. Are you ready? Steve Jobs said, "The ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do." Thank you for your time and I hope to see you on my team. I'm Londi and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.